Hey guys, I'm proud to announce my partnership with Camp Snap Camera Company. They make these nice screenless digital cameras. They're point and shoot. You take your pictures, you upload them to your computer, and you can enjoy them from there. You can do your editing or anything you want to do from there. They have a vintage look to them. These cameras are great. I had this brown one right here. I shot with that in Egypt on my last birthday, and it was a great camera. You can see some of the photos here. I recently acquired the Camp Snap Pro. Now this one is the Pro because it offers 4 filters. You get a standard look and you get 2 vintage looks, and you also get black and white. Great cameras. These cameras come without a screen, so you can just shoot and you ain't got to mess around. They hold up to 500 photos inside the camera. Like I said, you plug it to your computer and you can take them off from there. So you guys can get one of these if you're into photography, if you're into just taking pictures of your kids, your outdoors, friends, family, parties, events. These are perfect cameras for that. So you just snap and go. Having one of these in your pocket on the go is just another great option. Use my link below and get a super discount. You won't find a discount like this anywhere else. It will reduce your price and you will notice it. They're great. I mean, I love them. So go on and get your Camp Snap Pro camera. All right, guys, 3, 2, 1 here. This is just the audio only, so enjoy the images on your screen as you listen. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. This is you're just gonna see some images, but I gotta get into a discussion of some recent events, and I just gotta get something off my chest. So sit back, get your coffee, enjoy, listen, and drop a comment in the end, or wait to the end, drop a comment. We could discuss this, but also share this because it's just something I just want to discuss. It's not super serious, but it's just something I have to get out there. Got to get this out there. So I'm going to proceed. I'm going to bring you all the way up to right now, but I'm going to go back. Just if you're new and you don't know who I am, I'm just going to discuss my history with rocketry. I got started in model rocketry 83, 84, somewhere around there. My cousin introduced me to the hobby. We were kids. I'm from Jersey. He was living in Philly at the time. That's where his family was. Kids. I would go and stay with them in the summer, some of the summers or whatever in the 80s. So this one summer I went and stayed. He said, "Hey, we're going to be launching rockets with my dad." I'm like, "Launching rockets? I'd never heard of this ever." So I went. We staying in the summer, and he showed me all his rockets. He had like the Mean Machine. He had all these other kits. He had a couple Century rockets. Century was still around at the time before they got bought out by Estes. So we went, launched. I got instantly hooked on it. It was my thing now as a kid. I started getting the Estes catalogs. I was a day one Estes. Like Century was there, but I didn't have any Century stuff. I had Estes. Started getting those in the mail, getting the catalogs, doing the mail orders. It was all, you sent a check in, you had to wait. I was scrounging up, allowance, any kind of money I could get, whatever, just to get rockets. So that was just the time it was. You may do the mail away, and you seemed like you waited forever for the rocket to get back to you, coming from Penrose, Colorado, even way back then. So just waiting. And that was just the era it was. So I was into the hobby. It was my passion. I was full go. I would start building my own. Launched, I had a nice collection. And it was just what it was. It was the time period. I was sharing the hobby with other people. I had one other friend get into it briefly, but nobody would stick. Most people would be like, "Yo, it's really nice. It's cool." But kids were into other stuff, riding bike. I was riding bikes and stuff too, doing all the other stuff. But rockets was my unique thing. Like I said, I was the only one doing it, like where I lived. And I had a field to go and fly in, a small field, nonetheless, like a sports field or whatever. And one of the high school fields was kind of bigger. They had multiple sports fields, so I would fly there, and it was my thing. Then as I kept going through the years, 80s, 90s, 2000s, I went away from the hobby, but I always kept some rockets in the stash. I always had some. I would always get a catalog. Catalogs kept coming. I would always make sure I update addresses as we move, and the catalogs would keep coming. And I always knew what was going on. I remember when North Coast Rocketry came out, and I was like, wow, they got bigger, and they're doing clusters now, like multiple motors, and the big command launch controller came out, and I always loved that thing. Then I got one later on. It's a great still controller I have. It's kind of on the fritz now, so I had to upgrade. But I do have a brand new one sealed, just to let you know. I still have one. I always have kind of doubles of stuff. Anyway, we moved into the 2000s. I was kind of in and out of rocketry. I was working 20th Century Fox, moving around the country. Lived in Philly, lived in LA, different places. So, you kind of, the hobby's on hold. Then something called a bar, which is a born again rocketeer. I was kind of born again, came back into the hobby. And then we get into the era of social media. I created an Instagram account. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get into this hobby, and I'm gonna start sharing what I do, just sharing my knowledge, sharing my rockets and stuff I like. And I kind of fell into the lane of the vintage ones because I really was liking the 80s one. That's the one that got me started. So I'm more of a vintage head. That's kind of like my area. I like the older rockets. Some of the newer ones are cool. Don't get me wrong. I got some nice new designs, but vintage is kind of my lane. And I've been blessed enough to get my grails. I have kind of the 80s ones. I have some of the 90s. I have the Saturn V built, ready to go. The Little Joe 2 is my all-time. And that is in a fight with the Mars Lander, which is another all-time top rock. No, Mars Lander is high up on my list. But Saturn 1B, the K29 4-engine cluster, may be my new number one. If I get a successful launch after it's complete, that's going to be my number one. That's moving to the number one spot. So just to throw a little stuff around. So as I have my YouTube channel that we're on right now, I got this channel moving. It's some bigger channels, of course. I just try to bring content when I can get out there and fly. I have, real life, full-time, real life stuff going on like everybody else. I put some launch videos up. People respond to them. A lot of you guys are great. You tap in, you drop comments, you support the channel, you support it. When I released my collector cards, you guys bought them. And it's great. You use the discount code to Estes. Shout out to Estes. We're going to get into all that. Love Estes, by the way, but this is going to be about Estes a little bit, so stay tuned. So in this YouTube era, I got reached out to by Estes. It was a great opportunity. I'm like, wow, things have come full circle. I've been with them since I was a kid. They're the product. I was promoting and already mentioning their name in my videos just to show people, hey, this is what you get. Estes is the company. They're kind of like the leaders in this. There are some other companies out there, some smaller ones, and shout out to them too. I like a lot of them smaller companies, but Estes is the big dog. They the ones that can get the stuff out, get the marketing. They can get it rolling like on a drop of a dime. They got full staff, full team. They got everything. The big dogs. They're the Apple of the rocketry world. Now, I got reached out to by Estes. I'm not saying any names. A person reached out to me. And a woman and two people, a guy and a girl, they reached out to me, or man and woman, and we got on a Zoom call, and we discussed what we could do, and they said, hey, we would like for you to be part of the team as an affiliate, ambassador, brand ambassador, whatever you want to call it, and here's what we can do for you. And I'm like, cool, this is perfect. I'm already doing it. Perfect. I got a discount code for people. I put the code out. I shout the products out. I review product. Cool. I put it out. People buy. I get a little portion. Estes take a bigger portion. Cool. You buy for $1, you sell for $2. No problem. I'm just an affiliate, not full-time employee, just slightly associated. No problem at all. And that's the way we're rolling for the last couple years. Things have been great. Things have been cool as far as I can see it. So now, the person that I was dealing with, I reached out to him one day. I could always get to him. That's the thing. Like the person I was dealing with, the main guy, people, if you know, I could always get him, no problem. I send a message, he respond right back, boom, boom, boom. If it's a product I wanted to review, or sometimes I would just get stuff randomly, and I would like, okay, I'll make sure I always unbox it. If you guys check my past videos, I always was doing an unboxing. That's because I was getting product. I wasn't necessarily asking for it. It's a couple that I did want, and I missed, like, any more of those? And he'd be like, man, we all out. But when the new batch come in, I got you. Then something would show up. That's how the flow was. That person's no longer there. And I didn't hear nothing from Estes for a long time, but everything was still intact as far as my code and everything was still linked up. No problem. Okay, I just didn't hear from my person. I actually had submitted a design for a rocket. I submitted a design. He said, I'll move it through the channels. Nothing happened with it. Cool, no problem. Like, okay, I got it. I still have the designs. I still hold it. It's all mine. I still got it. Maybe one day that rocket could come out through a deal or whatever. That's beside what I'm talking about. So to get things back on track, because I'm kind of, just a little animated right now. But anyway, recently, to move things up into this very recent, as of November, it is now February. So back in November, I had a rocket I was holding on to called the Soyuz. Everybody knows now it's out. So I had this rocket way before it was released, right? And it was given as part of a non-disclosure. We keep it quiet. We work on this rocket. Then it's one day it's all going to be released. Now, I messed up. I made a mistake. I released too soon. I put my video out unveiling this rocket too soon. My mistake. I messed up, guys. I own up to that. I apologize to them. I got messages that morning when the rocket went live, and my video went live, I think at 7 a.m. I was an hour early. Reason being, this is no excuse. This is just the way. When I put a video up and you can set the time. I'm so used to setting 7 a.m. And that was on my mind. I'm going to release 7 a.m. It slipped my mind. I forgot that we're supposed to release, I believe it was 8 a.m. if I'm not, Colorado time, if I'm not mistaken, Mountain Standard. I believe it was 8 a.m. Nonetheless, I went too early. I instantly got emails about this, or an email saying, take that down. Like, oh yeah, you know what? My fault, my apology. I tried taking it down. I was taking it down. But if you know YouTube, it can be sticky sometimes. When you put a video on private, it still hangs on for a little while. I'm like, this thing is still up and I got it on private. So I'm refreshing, and eventually it did go down. And I did get reached out to by another affiliate, because we talked kind of behind the scenes that, hey, your video's up, bro, take it down. Like, okay, cool. So I took it down. I eventually got it down. But people were mad at me, which understandably, it's a big release. You want a big splash to happen, and I leaked it. And it's my fault. It wasn't on purpose. I apologize. That was 3 months ago. My mistake. I messed up. I dropped the ball on that. That's on me. 100%, no doubt about it. Even though the rocket, it feel it did good. It didn't hurt it. No, my mistake. I shouldn't have did it. It's a mistake. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts. So that's November, right? So we're 3 months later now. It's February. Let me make sure I count. Yeah, 3 months later, we're in February. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I saw an ad come up for a new release, the Goddard. I was like, oh, that is cool. I want that rocket right there. Robert H. Goddard, the godfather of all, we know, first liquid fuel rocket, all that. I'm like, I want that rocket. It looks so strange, so weird. I'm like, I want to build that. I want to fly that. I want that rocket. So I reached out through the email chain. Now understand, I have this original email chain from the person that's no longer there. It's a chain of us like discussing stuff. And then with the new person that I reached out to, I couldn't get him. I asked for something. I didn't get something a while ago. Not a product, just I needed something on the back end if I could get. It's in the thing. I couldn't get. No problem. Anyway, I reached out asking for the Goddard. I got an email back. With a bunch of stipulations on it now. There's rules to this now. I can't just have a rocket. Now, I'm going to get to this. I asked for the Goddard. They said, hello, Keith. Everything was cool. I don't have the email for him, but I'm just going to just freestyle it, but just summarize. Along with me getting this rocket, if I'm going to get this rocket, there are check marks I have to submit before getting a product now. Now, if you guys know this hobby is passion built. I started doing this in the 80s as a kid. This is passion. This is a passion thing. I do this because I love it. Now, to go put rules, regulations, and take away the freedom that the hobby has, like you go out, we build, we fly, we move, we shake as we do our thing. It ain't no, now I got to get on my mind. Instead of just building and flying and making sure I'm getting good launches and keeping everything else in track, now I got to make sure it's just a lot around getting a product now. Needless to say, I'm not getting the Goddard just on the strength of me being there. Not even saying, hey, you know what? We'll send you the Goddard, but moving forward, this is how we're moving. That's would have been a little better. Just, hey, this is what we're going to be doing like now, Keith, but we'll send you this one. But anything in the future, this is how we. So it just rubbed me the wrong way. That part right there, it's like, okay, it's just not fun. I already got a full-time job. I got life going on. I got things happening that nobody know about. Like, life's going on. Real life is happening. I've been blessed, yes, but real life is happening. So to have all these rules on a model rocket is crazy. When you come from the era of, hey, this is what we do. We out here, we in the field, we building, we flying. And when you got corporate people, shout out to the corporate people. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with corporations, but I doubt a lot of these people there that are in those positions calling these shots have built and flown. I doubt it, because I don't know if you know, like, we in the field doing it. Like, now to have to hit numbers and you want this, like, it's just information they want. They want data. I get it. This is the era of metrics and they want to be able to track and trace. No, I do get that, but if I had been Godfather then, I would take that a little more. Like, you know what? They still sent it, but this is what we're doing moving forward. Like, okay, that's what I got to do now to get a kit. Needless to say, I didn't get the rocket. That's brief summary of the first gist of this video. Now I'm going to move into the same email at the very end, right? The very end, they slid in. Shout out to Estes. I love you. But this is just You don't do this to me. You don't do this to nobody. The issue was 3 months ago, right? I should have got emails. If I would have got 2 or 3 more emails about it, I'd be like, wow, yeah, I messed up for real. But it was discussed already. I messed up. I released the Soyuz video too soon. But it got mentioned again 3 months later. Like, no, we deal with an issue when it happens. Like, when it first happened, had you got me, like, and wanted to say what you said in the email, that's when we deal with it. Like, you don't be waiting 3 months later to send. That's just how I feel about it. Some people may see it, no, they can bring it up anytime. No. If me and you getting into it, we dealing with it now. We gonna work out the issue now. We gonna talk about it now. We ain't gonna wait 3 months later. I ain't gonna get back to you 3 months later. So needless to say, that's just another thing that rubbed me the wrong way, guys. I'm just being honest, just sharing. But shout out to Estes. Still a lot of love for Estes. We still partners. I'm still gonna promote the product. Still gonna do my part. And they showed me the numbers, the dollar amount that I made for them. It's a substantial amount of money, and it's a great amount. I get a small portion, no problem. It's the boat that I'm in. Cool, no problem with Estes. But just that little bringing it up again. Okay, I didn't need a reminder. If you're gonna say something to me, it should have been said 3 months ago in February. Hash it all. We deal with it all in February. But to mention again, I'm not a kid. Like, I don't need to be scolded again. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. So that's just where I'm at with it. Just wanted to share that with you guys. And I appreciate all of you for supporting the channel. Like I said, again, drop a comment, hit a thumb up, share the video around. Like, let the chips fall where they may. Like I said, it's all love for me with Estes. I ain't got no issue. It's dope. I like what Estes does. Estes does great work, putting out a lot of great stuff, great content, great videos, good things. Like I said, the Soyuz is an amazing rocket. Yes, I leaked it. I made a mistake. But the email I got the other day is the one I should have got when it first happened. I apologize. I did hear about it, but that's just the way I feel about it. I mean, it is what it is at this point, and it's a water under the bridge scenario. I'm over it. I'm done with it, but that's just what it is. But no Goddard rocket. I won't have a Goddard rocket. I just won't have one. I won't have one. Like, so that's just what it is, guys. Go on, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. We'll be back flying. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just something I had to get off my chest. Let me share your thoughts, and we'll take things from there. It's just where I'm at with it, and the person I am. We gonna deal with the issue when it happened. We ain't got backtrack and go into all that. No, we don't do that. We ain't kids. Like, no. It's a one-time thing. I learned my lesson. I messed up. I made a mistake, but 3 months later, really? All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Signing off. Peace. Is out. That was a fast flight. Wow, that rocket, that was pretty nice. Pretty nice on the C-63. Very good. Coming down, I put the bigger parachute in there. Seems like I have the flight fins. I see those on. Everything's still attached. The Saturn V plastic fins broke. This one's coming down with a little twist and turn. Landed. And let's see. I think we are good. Nice flight. That was pretty good. Pretty good for a ready to fly kit. Very nice. Landing a bunch of ants. I don't know if you see those guys right in their home. They're out here working, and next thing you know, the Artemis returns to home.